Welcome back to the journey of light and destiny. If you're hearing this right now, it's not by accident. The universe is calling your name. Because this week, a new doorway is opening for Aries, a space where numbers are not just symbols, but living energy codes guiding you toward wealth, healing, and awakening. Sometimes, it takes only a single quiet moment to realize that everything you once lost is finding its way back, in a form more beautiful, brighter, and more deserving than before. Tonight, you won't just hear about destiny, you'll feel it moving gently within you, pulsing in rhythm with your own fire. So now, close your eyes, take a deep breath, because in this very moment, the first current of prosperity is flowing toward you. It's called the divine current of fortune, the sacred stream that opens the path of abundance made only for Aries. Aries, close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and let it move through you like a warm river. Something gentle is shifting around you, as if the wind has changed direction, as if an invisible stream is quietly flowing your way. That energy carries the tone of gold, the shimmer of light, and a promise the universe made to you a very long time ago. Not every kind of wealth is born from struggle. Sometimes, it arrives the moment you stop running, the moment you choose to be still and open your heart. In Buddhist philosophy, true wealth is not a reward for ambition. It's the natural outcome of inner expansion. When the mind rests, blessings rise. When the soul opens, prosperity finds its way back, just as the wind returns to the forest. There's a truth every grown soul must learn. Money doesn't define your worth, but the way you receive abundance says everything about the maturity of your spirit. So many people spend a lifetime searching for gold outside, forgetting that the real treasure has always been within their own heart. That's the meeting point where karma and kindness touch, where effort meets grace, where light and matter become one. You are stepping into that very stage now. A moment in your life where every action, every word, every thought is shaping its own frequency. The vibration of someone who knows they are worthy. No more running, no more confusion, only stillness, powerful, grounded, radiant. When you realize there's nothing left to chase, everything begins to come toward you. Let this week mark the beginning of a new understanding. That prosperity doesn't come from luck, but from readiness. When you are ready, the universe no longer waits. Doors that once felt locked, opportunities that slipped away begin to turn back toward you. And you'll feel it, not through your eyes, but through your intuition. Something vast is drawing near. If your heart is quietly trembling as you hear these words, it isn't imagination. It's the sign that the current has already reached you. Like dawn spreading over still water, the universe is shining its light into the deepest part of your Aries soul, where the fire of faith is awakening again. Right now, you have nothing to prove. No need to compare, no need to fight. Just open your heart and whisper softly to yourself, I am ready to receive what belongs to me. I have come far enough to know that everything arriving now is a blessing right on time. As you say that, feel the warmth spreading from your chest. That is the beginning of the miracle. The current of prosperity starts to move slowly but surely, like a river finding its way back to the sea. This week, everything is rearranging itself to place you back where you belong, in the position of someone chosen to receive grace, not because you were luckier, but because you were braver. Brave enough to trust, to love, to live truthfully. If your heart feels open in this moment, hold a quiet affirmation within you like a sacred prayer. I am ready to receive what the universe owes me. Because the instant you speak it, energy begins to move. Everything in space, in time, in breath starts aligning in your favor. And when the silence expands through your body, know this: the journey has truly begun. A door is opening, not outside, but within you. And carved upon it, there is a number, a sacred symbol of faith and victory. Keep your heart open, because the very first thing the universe wants you to see is the number 7, a number that isn't just a mark on paper, but a signal. A reminder that the miracle has already begun, and you are standing right at the center of its flow. There are moments in life when we can't see what lies ahead, only a thick mist covering the road. But it's within that mist that something miraculous begins to form quietly. delicately, as if the universe is testing whether we have enough faith to take the next step. That's when the number 7 appears. It doesn't come to promise, it comes to awaken. In Buddhist teachings, the number 7 carries sacred meaning. The 7 steps the Buddha took after birth, each step blooming into a lotus flower. It's the image of awakening, of rising beyond illusion, of believing without needing proof. This number is an invitation to remember that every true victory begins with an invisible step, the step of faith. They say if you want to see a tree grow, you must wait for the rain, but the lesson of 7 goes deeper. It teaches that we don't just wait, we trust while waiting. Like the dawn before sunrise, we can already feel the warmth of the sun. When faith is strong enough, even the darkness becomes a companion because we know we're walking toward the light. Life sometimes takes us down unexpected turns, work stalls, love tests us, dreams feel far away. But if we pause and listen, we'll hear a quiet voice within whisper, "Keep walking." That is the energy of 7, not loud, not showy, but steady as a heartbeat, guiding us through uncertainty. Faith isn't about closing your eyes to believe blindly. It's about seeing the unseen through the eyes of the soul. When you trust yourself, trust the path, and trust the fairness of the universe, you've already stepped through a doorway few have the courage to open. That doorway is the gate of revelation. Maybe you've lived through days when everything fell apart, but have you noticed? Those very days are the ones that made you stronger, wiser, more awake. The number 7 arrives to remind you nothing is random. Every tear, every stumble is another lotus blooming on your path to awakening. If there's a dream inside you that's been sleeping, whisper to it with faith. Say to yourself, "I trust the rhythm of life. I trust that what belongs to me is already finding its way back." The moment you speak that truth, the energy of 7 begins to move. The universe hears it and quietly rearranges everything in your favor. Those who walk by faith don't wait for the bridge to appear, they feel the water beneath their feet, knowing that wings of belief will carry them across. When you trust, you rise. When you doubt, you fall. And sometimes, one peaceful breath is all it takes to remember you've already learned how to fly. So this week, if the road ahead feels unclear, don't lose heart. Let your heart lead. Trust the smallest signs, a message, a smile, a glance. They are all the universe's way of saying you're on the right path. And when your faith runs deep enough, life itself begins to turn toward you like a river returning to the sea. If these words touch something within you, write this quietly in your heart. I trust my own journey. Because in that single moment, you cross the threshold of doubt and enter the space of light. And in that light, what you've been seeking all along begins to find you. In the still breathe of faith, a new sound begins to rise, soft, balanced, yet powerful. As if once the heart has believed, life begins to realign to give back. And from within that gentle glow, another number emerges, the symbol of harmony between effort and reward, between giving and receiving, between doing and simply being. A new chapter opens, deeper, calmer, and beautifully complete. Sometimes, we live as if running through a wide open field, endlessly sowing seeds, never stopping to see if anything has begun to grow. Then one day, the wind shifts, the light softens, and the world around you whispers, "It's time to harvest." That is the energy of the number 14, the balance between effort and reward, between sowing and reaping, between action and stillness. In the law of karma, nothing is ever truly lost. Every thought, every kind act, every small gesture you've given leaves an imprint on the flow of the universe. And in time, all of it returns, not always in the form you expected, but always in the form you truly need. The number 14 arrives as a gentle reminder. You don't have to do more to be worthy. You only need to trust that your efforts are growing quietly beneath the surface. Aries often moves fast, chasing results, eager to see outcomes now. But this week's lesson isn't about speed, it's about stillness. Some miracles bloom only when you pause, breathe, and trust that the seed is already alive beneath the soil. Life never forgets to repay those who live with kindness, and the universe never forgets the reward meant for those who dare to believe. Every action carries a response. When you give with gratitude, life returns peace. When you work with a clear heart, the reward is not just material, it's a calmness that settles deep within your soul. Maybe you've wondered, why haven't my efforts shown results yet? But if you listen closely, you'll sense that the universe is preparing a better timing, a stronger foundation, so that when your blessings arrive, you'll be ready to hold them. The number 14 is the universe's scale, where everything slowly finds balance again. It reminds you that life is not only about effort, it's about the art of rest. Not just about achieving, but about maintaining. When you allow yourself to pause, not from weakness, but from faith, knowing that everything is still moving as it should, that's when the energy of 14 begins to flow through your life. Remember this, what you once gave with love will return as stability. Maybe as a loyal bond, a new opportunity, or simply as the quiet peace of waking up with a steady heart. And through each of these, the universe whispers, I have seen you. I am returning it all in the gentlest way. If you're waiting for a result, a sign, or a door to open, take a moment now. Breathe deeply. Be grateful for the simple fact that you never gave up. Because in that single breath of gratitude, balance begins to move again. Blessings start their journey back to you, not with noise, not with haste, but slowly, deeply, like water finding its way home. If these words resonate with you, write this quietly in your heart. I trust the rhythm of the universe. I know what I have given is finding its way back to me. Then just keep living softly with a calm smile. Because when you release worry, life completes the rest for you. Somewhere in the unseen, energy is shifting. What you once struggled to hold is now finding its own balance. The roots have taken hold. The flowers are almost ready to bloom. The equilibrium you've waited for is arriving, and with it, the solid ground upon which your next creation will stand. In that peaceful wind, another sound begins to rise, the sound of the builder, the maker, the hand that turns dreams into legacy. A new force is awakening, strong, grounded, and enduring, as if the universe is placing the first stone in your hands to build something eternal. In the quiet moments of life, sometimes you hear a sound unlike anything else. It's not the wind. It's not the rain. It's the call of something greater, so soft, so subtle, that only a heart still enough can hear it. That is the voice of the number 22, the number of the builder, the creator, the soul who doesn't just dream of the future, but dares to build it with their own hands, with faith, and with unshakable resolve. In astrology, it's known as the vibration of the cosmic architect. It doesn't belong to those waiting for luck. It belongs to those brave enough to shape their own destiny. The energy of 22 is a fusion of vision and action, of spirit and structure, of the unseen and the tangible. It doesn't ask, are you ready? It asks, are you brave enough to begin? An awakened soul never begs for miracles, they become one. That is the essence of 22. In Buddhism, right action is the expression of wisdom itself. When the heart is clear, the hands know what to do. When the mind is calm, every step becomes a path. Creation doesn't begin in the outer world, it begins inside, when you stop seeking someone to save you, and instead become your own light. This world isn't short of dreamers, it's short of builders. The number 22 doesn't promise an easy rise. It offers you the strength to stand again after every fall. It whispers that every empire began with one courageous decision, to believe in a vision no one else could see. And maybe that's the most human truth of all. Wealth isn't measured by what you own, but by what you leave behind. Picture this, every word you speak, every act you make is a brick. You can choose to build a small house of safety or a great temple of meaning. Whether you're starting a business, writing a book, raising a child, or simply choosing kindness each day, you are building something sacred. And in that quiet persistence, you are writing your legacy. There will be moments of loneliness in this work. No one may see your effort. No one may understand your vision. But when dawn comes, the sun will touch every brick you've placed, every drop of sweat you've given, and you will know it was all worth it, because what's built with love never falls. If you're hearing this now, ask yourself, what dream inside me is waiting to be built? Maybe it's an old vision you left behind. Maybe it's a small idea you've been afraid to begin. Whatever it is, place your hand over your heart and whisper, I am ready. Because when you speak those words, the energy of 22 begins to move, strong, steady, unstoppable. Every small act holds immense meaning. Sometimes just clearing a space in your home, writing the first line, or making a simple plan is enough to awaken the universe waiting beside you. When you move, doors open. When you build, the universe collaborates. That's the natural law of souls who create value. Creation attracts creation. If these words make your heart burn a little warmer, that's the sign the builder's flame has been lit inside you. Let it guide your steps. And when you grow weary, remember, every great structure takes time. The universe is never in a hurry, but it is always on time. And in the deeper silence, as the first hammer strikes the ground of destiny, the echo travels outward, becoming the rhythm of expansion. A new energy begins to form, gentle, radiant, full of promise. It is the frequency of growth, of joy, of light spreading from what's been built to everything around it. Here, all boundaries begin to dissolve, and your soul opens to receive something far greater, the energy of expansion without limits. There comes a moment in every person's journey when they suddenly realize that true wealth isn't measured by the numbers in a bank account, but by the smiles they've planted along the way. That's when the energy of the number 30 appears, light as the wind, warm as sunlight, and vast as the sky after rain. The number 30 is the vibration of expansion, not only in the material world, but in spirit, compassion, and the ability to spread goodness. When you step into this frequency, you stop asking, "How much can I have?" and begin to wonder, "How much can I give?" That shift marks a soul that has matured, one that understands prosperity only becomes real when it's shared. A Zen master once said, "When the first candle lights the second, its flame doesn't grow weaker, it doubles the brightness of the room." Expansion works the same way. When you lift someone else up, you don't lose your light, you amplify it. You make the universe itself glow brighter, and your own radiance multiplies in return. As we grow older, we often learn to hold tighter, afraid to lose, afraid to give. But eventually we understand that everything only comes to pass through us. Money, opportunities, relationships, they're like rivers. When they flow, they stay pure and full of life. But when we close our hearts, the water stagnates. Open your heart again and the current begins to move, bringing back blessings beyond what you expected. The number 30 invites you to see life through a new lens, where success is no longer about possession but about service. When you live to help others shine, your light becomes eternal. Every kind word, every gentle act, every moment you make someone believe in good again, all of it expands the circle of your own prosperity. Notice how when you do something kind, your spirit feels lighter, your day feels brighter, and unexpected opportunities begin to show up. That isn't magic, it's energy in motion. Giving doesn't make you less, it makes you part of a sacred circulation. Perhaps you're standing at a crossroads now, wanting to protect what you have, yet feeling called to step into something greater. The number 30 whispers, don't be afraid to expand. Opening your heart is the only way forward. Because in this universe, every new door opens only when you release the old one. If you're hearing this, maybe you can already feel your energy shifting. You no longer just want to receive, you want to create. You want your life to mean something, to turn success into inspiration for others. And the moment you feel that, you've touched the true essence of prosperity, the moment you become the one who plants light. Try something small this week. Call an old friend, help someone struggling, or simply send a kind message to a stranger. Watch how the universe responds, maybe with a new opportunity, or maybe just with a calm, quiet joy. Either way, your soul is expanding. If these words make your heart tremble gently, whisper to yourself, "I share my abundance with love." When you say that, the energy of 30 begins to magnify, not just around you, but everywhere you go. And in the stillness of gratitude, something new begins to rise, a rhythm stronger, clearer, more alive, like the beat of a drum calling you forward. From deep within this current of expansion, a new number begins to form, carrying the pulse of action, of courage, of swift victory. It is the force that turns plans into motion and dreams into form, a fiery, living rhythm racing ever closer. There are moments in life when you know deep down that if you don't move now, there may never be a better time. Not because the universe is pushing you, but because your own soul is whispering, it's time. The number 37 carries that whisper, a pulse of action, of courage, of immediate victory. 37 doesn't belong to those who stand safely on the shore of their dreams. It belongs to those who dive into the moving river. It is the code of movement, the vibration of souls who understand that life doesn't reward hesitation, it rewards devotion. Sometimes all it takes is one step, one word, one act to shift the entire current of destiny. In Buddhist teaching, there is a saying, when the mind is centered, action becomes meditation. Then, action is no longer effort. It is the natural flow of clarity. When you can hear the voice within, even the smallest decision becomes a step toward awakening. And that stillness of mind, that calm awareness, is what gives rise to the explosive power of right action, at the right time in the right way. The world doesn't change because of dreamers, it changes because of movers, those who turn visions into motion. How many times have you stood at the edge, between wanting and fearing, between knowing and doing, between thinking and beginning? How many chances have passed simply because you hesitated? The number 37 appears to tell you this. You've waited long enough. This is the moment to move, to open the path, to bring your dream into form. Remember, fear has never been a signal to stop. It's simply a sign that you're close to something that matters. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to step forward even when your heart is trembling. And when you step, doors begin to turn on their hinges. Opportunities you thought were gone start finding their way back, because the universe always favors those who believe in their own stride. Your path may not be easy, but trust that every step, no matter how small, is being counted. When you act with a pure heart, even mistakes become lessons. Even failure transforms into strength. This life doesn't reward perfection, it rewards presence. It honors those who dare to live fully. If you're hearing these words, take one slow breath and ask yourself, what have I been putting off for too long? Maybe it's a dream buried under fear. Maybe it's a message you've been meaning to send. Maybe it's an opportunity you've been too cautious to take. Whatever it is, today is the day to begin again. One action, a message, a step, a decision can set the whole current of energy in motion. Like fire meeting wind, like waves meeting moonlight. Believe that every movement you make will be met in return. Because when you move toward destiny, destiny moves toward you. That is the secret rhythm between the human heart and the universe. When we act with love, the world responds with miracles. If these words touch you, let your heart whisper, I choose action over fear. That single choice is the key that unlocks victory. And soon, you'll notice, everything begins to shift faster, clearer, smoother, as if the entire cosmos is guiding you toward success. And then, in the stillness between one breath and the next, something extraordinary happens. A deep, steady calm fills you, the calm of someone who knows they're nearing the summit, the soul standing at the edge of fulfillment. There, victory is no longer a result, it's a way of being. And from within that energy of movement, another number begins to reveal itself. The number of completion, the crown of prosperity, where all effort ripens into fruit. One more breath and you'll step into the realm of fulfillment, where the number 45 awaits, like the golden sunrise of final glory. There comes a moment in every life when everything slows down. The noise fades, the striving softens, and only the gentle rhythm of your heartbeat remains, moving in perfect harmony with the breath of the universe. That is when your soul steps into the frequency of the number 45, the vibration of completion, the crown of prosperity, where every effort ripens into lasting blessing. 45 doesn't arrive as a miracle. It arrives as the quiet reward of a long journey, a path where you face storms, learn to let go, to trust, to stand firm through the wind. It is the universe's way of saying that not one step of yours was wasted, not one tear fell unseen. Every moment you lived, every trial you overcame, has been the brick building this very foundation. The moment you realize you no longer need more, because you already are enough. In Buddhist philosophy, fulfillment isn't about holding everything. It's the peace of heart that exists in both having and not having. When you are no longer afraid to lose and no longer desperate to gain, that is when you begin to live in true abundance. The number 45 carries that wisdom, not as a promise of wealth, but as the awakening that you are the source of it. The world tells us to chase happiness, but the universe whispers, happiness was within you all along. When you stop running, happiness finds you. When you stop proving, your worth begins to shine. When you finally look back, you realize you were never chasing riches, you were simply remembering who you are. The current of abundance itself, the origin of light and blessing. The wealth of 45 isn't measured in money, it's the calm inside your chest, the deep gratitude that fills you when you look back and smile. When you can honor every chapter, the hard work, the waiting, the lessons disguised as loss, you see that your true fortune is the growth of your soul. And in that realization, opportunities, kindness, and prosperity start flowing toward you, not as rewards, but as reflections of your inner peace. Imagine standing at the summit after a long climb, no longer gasping for air, but breathing easily, watching the whole landscape of your life stretch out before you. Every path, every person, every moment blending into one magnificent tapestry. And you understand, this moment is the reward. If you feel a gentle warmth in your chest as you listen, that is the energy of 45 awakening within you. It asks for nothing. It simply invites you to stay in gratitude, stay in faith, stay in the stillness of being. Because when you live in that vibration, everything you need comes to you softly, completely, right on time. Close your eyes for a moment and whisper to yourself, I no longer chase abundance, for I am the source of it. As you speak these words, the crown of fulfillment begins to glow within you, not a crown of power, but of awakening, not of possession, but of grace. 45 is the universe's blessing to those who have walked their full journey. It doesn't end the cycle, it opens a door to a life of quiet peace, where wealth and goodness walk side by side. Thank you for listening, for believing, for walking this path of light with me. May your week be filled with serenity, clarity, and blessings beyond measure. May your fire never fade, and may your wealth always serve the light of kindness in this world.